G'day everybody, welcome back for Series 2 of the VCS Friday night stream. We have GAM versus EVOS. Hype series for sure, both undefeated teams so far after 1 week. Hardly the most irrelevant thing. What do we think is going to happen this week, Yulwei?
Well, looking at most people's predictions, I think most people will stomp EVOS, but it's still an exciting series. GAM looked absolutely incredible, especially in the early game. They trolled a little bit in the second game. I think it went to 36 minutes or something, but the early games
they nearly
were
through.
unbelievably good. Looking at the stats for GAM, it's quite something. The goal difference at 15 minutes is 5,773 gold. That is almost
Absurd.
6k gold at 50 minutes on average. Okay, they only played 2 games, but it's still absurd. Dia1 had an absolutely outstanding first performance on the Cassiopeia, where he roamed top multiple times, outplayed all the other the players on the other side. And this is an especially important match for Dia1, as he obviously came over from EVOS, right? He was the prodigy for EVOS, scouted by all the EVOS coaches as well, as we heard from Jensen earlier on, who was a member of EVOS before. So he knew about Dia1's talent, and it seems to be fulfilling that prophecy right now on GAM.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that we were saying in the lead up to start of the split was that if Dia won, let me rephrase. We were saying GAM might look a bit shaky at the start of the split because we were saying, well, Dia 1 needs some time to slot in. No, he doesn't. He's already in. He looked so good last week. He looked
incredible.
He didn't need to fit in at all. He was already there. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely. And I think looking a little bit on the side of obviously GAM, like the hype team, the VCS team everyone knows. It's Levi, it's Dia1 now joining us with Palette. For people who know the VCS, know that Palette is one of the most highly regarded players as well. So looking on the other side, EVOS has Thorn and Parker, the Thorn and Parker reunion. They also have Hero now named TH joining them over from the QG roster that didn't make it back into the VCS. So I like their upgrades, especially their top side looks quite strong. But B and DivKid were the outstanding players in Series 1. We gave DivKid both our MVPs, although most people also wanted to give at least one to Storm on his very good first game J4 performance.
So he looked really good.
Jungle, ADC, and support were outstanding players in the first series. Hero did okay. He actually fell behind in CS and lane a little bit, and he played against Yoshino. This time he has to face Kiaya, so potentially the 2 best top laners right away. Not the easiest start in the new team.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah, he did. As you said, not a super standout performance for him, but he did enough, right? He didn't interway a lead that Yoshino could crush down on or anything like that. And hey, if you're not doing that, that's good enough. That's good enough, in my opinion. Actually, he just needs to do it against Kiaya as well.
And EVO's a start to the season playing against Flash. Stats for CS difference. All 3 laners are actually down in CS on 3 games played against Flash.
Yep.
As we'll head into Champion Select very quickly. But I just wanted to get it out there.
A little bit ahead of us. Fix that. I'm still on the preview.
Oh, that's interesting.
Here is Champion Select. No worries.
18 CS over 3 games on average at 50 minutes. That's quite significant, especially if you look over to the side of Kiaya. He's up 27 CS on average. So this top lane matchup in terms of creep advantage might just blow open the game a little bit in the favor of GAM.
Yeah, absolutely. And here comes the bans. Tristana being removed was played in the series last week. Interesting that they're reading a ban into it. It was a little bit of a troll pick, I think. GAM definitely just having some fun in that series. Sorry, I just have to restart the stream.
Dia1 looked very good on Tristana though, so I can kind of understand the ban. It's very high the better when it comes to ADC. He also picked the Tristana into Cassiopeia and still won, which is the ultimate skill test, not an easy matchup to play.
Not. And it is now Kiana and Renekton removed by EVOS. Jarvan by GAM. Makes sense. Sorn had a fantastic performance on that champion. Makes sense to get rid of it. And Vladimir being removed traditionally is a very good champion for Hero. But look who it is. No! Don't bait me like that. You can't hurt me. But Syndra is a fantastic pick. I actually think Syndra is a better pick here. I still don't like Set first pick.
Might not be the same. Yeah, there it is.
Ooh,
Locked
Aatrox
in.
over Syndra. Nope, there's Syndra.
So Syndra first pick, a little bit of EU meta. And we have to say, GAM especially was one of the teams that looked very sharp when it came to pick up band priorities.
Exactly.
They look like they're prepared well for the patch. Obviously, the second game, if you look at the draft, you might think, okay, they were trolling a little bit. And that's true.
They were.
They played AP Shyvana, and why not, right?
had
They
some
won the
fun.
game. And
Yep.
there it is.
Kiaya
finally.
gets his set. He looked really good on it when he played it last week. He's obviously super strong on the patch. And observers, I know you can't hear me, but can we never look at any other lane but top? Just stick top. Whole game. Pro view for Kiaya. Aphelios locked in.
You want to see that juicy set matchup?
Set mechanics. Give me those set mechanics. Right click on people.
Give me that Soraka. It's so easy to set. Come on.
It is really easy to set. And Aphelios picked up as well for Blazers. He exists, guys. He's enabled on the patch.
Yeah, it's great
Didn't
to
see him in the
GAM
last
is
game.
such a relief to watch because they know what champs to draft. It's so good. So
It's
good to
another-
see. Still no Senna to be seen.
Another Xayah game here for DivKid. Did have a very, very good performance on the champion, including... did he get both pentakills? No, he just got the one.
He got one, yeah. One to Slater, one to DivKid. We started off the season 2 pentakills in the first series. Go back and watch that series. It's quite crazy. I think the occurred at 14 minutes into the game. Just 5v5 in the bot lane at 40 minutes. Pretty fun.
It was some fun, for sure. Now, Lee Sin is picked up. A very good champion here for Sorn. Good one to lock away for him. Not a Sorn special. It's not the Graves, it's not the Nidalee, but he does get the Lee. Response from GAM is the Elise. Good to lock away their jungler before the second phase of bans. Could have potentially gotten pinched. Now, EVOS, faced with a choice of supports to ban, but they run the risk of picking themselves into a corner because GAM does have the first pick.
What do you think of this Mordekaiser ban?
It makes sense. It makes total sense.
Yeah?
Set versus Mordekaiser is a skill matchup. It's 100% a skill matchup. It's 50-50, and you may as well just have Kiaya on a better matchup.
Ban it away. Okay.
Just ban
That's
it so you don't have to take the 50-50. And I think it's probably, I say it's 50-50, going to sound silly, it's probably a 49-51 in Mordekaiser's favor.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's slightly more favored. But if you're a really good set and you're a better player, you can win that.
Another interesting thing, looking at the bans for Gamis, they actually banned away all three Morde, Vlad, and Akali in the first series. So now he has to show us something different. Obviously, he played the whole summer split, so we know he can play different things. But
yeah, Aatrox is still open. The consistent top lane pick, not bad into set by any means. And in
Soraka's also open.
I know you really want it. I mean, it's not bad here. You don't need damage from your top laner. You don't want to pick a tank because you're... Yeah, why not? Soraka, it's definitely a pick.
So,
yep, Braum
Syndra, Syndra mid lane. We've actually not seen Syndra mid lane in a long time, I think. So this is interesting to see what Palette can pick into her. We still have the LeBlanc open. LeBlanc Syndra traditional skill matchup. Another one of those 49-51% skill matchups, I'd say. A little bit Syndra favored. It's pretty easy to wait for the jump and then knock LB back. This one would be interesting as well. Quite hard to okay.
Ooh,
I'll not talk about Hovers. Let's wait for the
I mean, Lucian open. getting through the last pick. A little bit ridiculous. I think that's a good lock-in. Give that one to
Absolutely.
Dia1. Let him absolutely flex on the Syndra, can dodge a lot of what she wants to do.
It's now a lot
Overall,
of early game power for GAM, which, looking at the stats, makes sense, right? They just
yep,
blow
they
open the
smash
game at
early.
15 minutes. Yep. A little bit of a concern for when it comes to late scaling damage. I don't think Elise can really provide the AP damage to let champs like Aatrox and Braum go into MR as well. So Levi has to either pop off to give his team a little bit better damage profiles, or just pop off and give all his laners a lot of kills so you can finish the game at 20 minutes.
Yeah, so just to comment on the EVOS side of the draft, I like the individual picks, but I'm not sure how it goes as a team comp. It's a little bit disjointed. How do they actually construct a fight with that comp? I mean, in the end, maybe they just smash lanes and then it doesn't matter, but you're against GAM. A little bit
It's very
tricky.
unlikely.
It's very
They have a
unlikely.
lot of control, though. It will be very hard for Zed, especially to play in the to fight in the late game into Xayah, Syndra, to very control heavy champs. And there's a Braum and a Lee Sin even peel as well. So very strong defensive team composition, in my opinion. Not the greatest of engages. They can try to go for some flanks with Lee and Aatrox, but the strongest suit is probably late game defensive team fighting, focused on Xayah and Syndra control.
See, I'm not 100% sure how effective that's going to be because I feel like you're right. Kiaya is going to really struggle to get in there and get amongst the other team on the set. But what he's not going to struggle to do is stand on top of Blazers and press R when Lee dives. Or when Aatrox dives. You just press R. If it's an Aatrox, great, because he has a fair bit of health. Lee Sin, not so much, but you just slam him down. You'll probably, based on the spacing of normal team fights, you probably carry back to Xayah and Syndra, and then you press E, get a big stun, your job's done. Maybe throw a haymaker out, but you're done.
Yeah, I mean, this is VCS, so we'll see a lot of fights. But,
Absolutely.
an ALCS game, I'd say we would not see a whole lot of fights because there's not the best. There's a lot of engagement GAM side, but they don't want to engage into Syndra Xayah control. And then on the other side, EVOS, as you rightfully pointed out, there's not the greatest of engage on their side. So this might just be a stalemate with just clearing waves over and over again. But as I said before, this is VCS, so we'll definitely get the fights,
Yeah,
especially with GAM.
They're so bloodthirsty. There's no chance that we don't see fights. And of course, in the bot lane, we do have this Aphelios, and it's double combat summoners versus the teleport AD carry for DivKid. So potentially the opportunity for GAM to try and brawl in the bot lane.
Still heal available though, so potentially the safety net for EVOS to not die in lane.
Definitely, but still could eke out an advantage on the Aphelios based on that that pressure. We'll have to see. Blazers still sort of needs to prove himself as an ADC. Didn't have a bad performance last week by any means.
He actually had a very good performance.
He did, but he didn't carry. He didn't need to.
No.
To be fair, he did not need to carry, but he also didn't. So I'd love to see him pull out a carry performance on this Aphelios. Obviously a super strong
He's still
champion
deathless on Aphelios. 7-0-2 in the first game GAM played, so looking strong. And he wants to continue that trend, so Palette is
going in under
weird
tower.
fights
Ooh,
here.
don't know about that one. Aftershock is pretty strong though. Yes, as the stream is buffering just a little bit for me.
Yeah, it's the same here, so it seems to be on their
end. Let's hope it clears up.
Yeah, second series of the day is seems to be a little bit to be taken down in between the series, so that the second series can be on the same quality. Not quite sure what's going on there. But
I mean, if you
can only speculate.
Of course. But regardless, we will push through because it's definitely still watchable. Sorn clearing his jungle out here, going for most of a full clear, not so much on his bot side, but taking all of the top side. I don't think there's really anything for him to gank here. He could go for the counter gank on this mid lane play. Dia1 dashes away from the scatter the weak though. Doing very well.
Yeah, and Kiaya, with a lot of early control on the lane, tried to scout out the positioning of Zorn and might actually get the first Rifthold on the top side. Not Rifthold, Scuttle Crab in the top side. Did not go for the Scuttle Crab. I would have liked to see him just take the Scuttle Crab and kind of prevent Lee Sin from going up top lane because there's nothing left. But hold the thought, there's a lot going on
Here
in the
we
bot lane.
go. Yep, the four-man squad is here. They're coming in. Paulette flashing forward, goes for the Zenith Blade, is locking them up. The Severum Q doing so much damage. Parquet arrives just a little bit too late. Careful, son. They can re-dive this once the cooldowns are up. Oh, the Calibrum tag coming out. Dia1 can dash forward, doing so much damage. Another teleport is coming in. That Severum Q, though, and he's got the Calibrum mark. It should be an easy kill. Got the Gravitum out now as Paulette does go down. First kill. There is a Gravitum tag, and Dia1 will get the final kill. GAM get 4 in the bot lane. What the damn hell just happened?
Hopefully we get to replay with a little bit of slow. There was stream just completely gave up. So I actually didn't get to see a whole lot. The first dive, very clean execution though. First kill to Dia1, who actually walks away with 3 kills in the end. So not the funnest of times in the mid lane for Parky now.
No,
Against Lucian,
absolutely
who's
not.
far ahead.
That's horrific.
There we go.
Yeah, so we saw the first dive really well by Paulette, and it's just this, look at the damage coming out of Blazers.
So they decide to redive here as they see. So who takes the first aggro? It's actually who?
It was Levi, but then he repelled it.
Yeah, Levi reflected. He bought a lot of time with that repel.
Yeah.
And then Paulette has to go down, but it's worth. Also a little bit ill-advised for DivKid to go back towards the lane. He could have probably escaped there if he headed towards his secondary turret.
Potentially.
Thought he was safe on the turret. That was not the case at all.
Yeah, and this is now a horrific situation here for EVOS. Look at the stat difference in the bot lane. It's a Doran's Blade, a longsword, and a Cull to a BF sword.
Yeah, that is no fun. And look at the mid lane. The mid lane is just so horrible for Parkin now. 3-0 Lucian with an experience advantage. Cleanse available, so you can't actually outplay him. Even if he makes a mistake, he can just cleanse. And he has so much damage. He has sustain, so he can just freely poke, take 1-for-1 damage, or just damage for damage, and heal back up. So it's just a very bad feeling playing against him. Kiaya is still dominating top lane as well. Gum's looking like Gum.
Yep, absolutely. And he's gone the early Bramble Vest, which definitely helps in the matchup. Does delay his Triforce, and I believe in Kiaya, he's going to build Triforce. So it's an interesting decision, but it is definitely the correct one, I believe, as he lands the Haymaker. In comes the chains, but it doesn't end up getting anything. Another good... Nah, Thorn's just going for Grump. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. I thought he might look for lane gank up, but seems he doesn't fancy the kill or the gank there, so might just give up the first dragon over to Levi.
Yep.
It's worthless dragon. It's this dragon alone on its own is so absolutely useless. Yep. It's I guess nice to have for Kiaya, but he would have preferred every other. So
I mean, yeah, he doesn't start building tank stats until a little bit later. It's really not great, but it's a notch on your Dragon Soul belt.
Exactly, it's out of the way. You got the dragon spawning. The next one would really ocean, so we'll actually not get an ocean. So I'm
up in the top lane. Hero in some trouble. Kiaya tried to flash there to connect the Haymaker. Actually, didn't quite flash in the same direction. In the correct direction, I should say. There is the Hex Flash into the Moonlight Vigil. It was, did a lot of damage, and down goes B. Paulette will go down in the trade, but it doesn't matter because Dia1 is here, and he gets his 4th kill of the game at 7.5 minutes.
Pure and utter domination from Gamma. It's actually almost disgusting to watch what they do to the EVOS.
They do this to everyone,
another bot lane dive. Yeah,
look at Aphelios with the Chakrams absolutely shredding the tower. This is the 4th turret plate. It's meant to actually have some resistances, but weird. Aphelios just seems to go through it.
Yeah. FLES. The champ might have some problems balancing
One or
wise. One or two. Let's look at the dive again. My opinion, the wrong gun, but okay, whatever. He dealt a lot of damage, as you rightfully pointed out. I think he could have probably saved his support with the Gravitum gun, but he didn't have the Gravitum available.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think he had it.
Yeah.
From what I read,
not so much a mistake, more unlucky timing, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we could have seen what his offhand is, but unfortunately we don't have that option. I think he had
200 years.
200 years of game design.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think he did have the Calibrum in the offhand, which would have been even more useless. Good decision overall to use that Infernum.
Or Crescendum. Yeah, one of the two. Definitely not the Gravitum, which he needed there.
Yeah, definitely not the... in the mid lane, it's a double buffed Tier 1. He's got a blade of the Rune King to a Lost Chapter.
Sub 10 minutes. Yeah. It's just disgusting.
This is over. Open mid, boys.
Honestly,
what is
3k gold lead at 9 minutes? They are on pace for their usual 6k gold lead at 15 minutes. It wasn't a flash on the pan. It wasn't a fluke in the first series. Looks like GAM got even better in early game.
Yeah, that's terrifying as well. GAM's early game got better. Oh no. That's an absolutely terrifying prospect, as DR1 will begin to grow this CS lead over time. The bot lane tower is under siege. Levi's here. The Moonlight Vigil, that's the Gravitum, as Palette throws himself in. B trying to mitigate as much damage as he can. Blaze is in a little bit of trouble, and he goes down. Good TP out of Parquet. Turns the over-aggressive... Yeah, he's... They turned the over-aggressive play from GAM back on its head and actually get 2 kills against the flow.
Yep, nice to see. EVOS does not want to go down without a fight, so it's always good to see. Nice response game. This was the 3rd or 4th bot lane dive, so after some time EVOS realized they would probably need to reinforce bot lane to not die over and over again. Nicely done. 2 kills on the bot lane, and now it's only 4 to 6 in terms of kills and less than 2k gold lead for GAM.
Yeah, the big problem here is still DR1. He wasn't part of that bot lane play, so he comes in very late on the TP, actually kind of has to back off, and he's got so much of the lead. Up in the bot lane, there was apparently a little bit of a brawl to stop a teleport, I think. Well done by Kiaya.
Actually, hindsight, he would have liked to not cancel that one.
Yeah, should have let him go.
I mean, you thought he was helping his bot lane. Now with the bot lane dying anyway, he could have actually gotten 2 or 3 turret platings out of that play. So
there's no way that can get called though.
Yeah, right. It's still the right play he went for. Just a little unfortunate that it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, and this bot lane tower still getting poked down. They're going... I think GAM does need to chill out a little bit in the bot lane as they go.
That is playing so aggressively this game.
He is absolutely thudding it.
They still secured the first turret with this play, so
yeah, absolutely
I guess we can't really call them out on that one. Looked a little dicey, but still a lot of damage. Also, I like how Blazes hits all the ults. We have actually seen so many affiliates in professional play not hit any ults. So it's good to see affiliates with good precision.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps when Palette is locking people in the chamber for you, so they're dead still. But yeah, still.
Of course. Yeah.
Well done by Blazers so far. Okay, this is...
Look at the minimap. Look at the minimap.
Oh, hero!
Yeah, some people approaching.
You're getting in trouble. The power bomb comes in. It's set with the steel chair. Levi coming in the tag team. Can they find anything? Deal 1 missing everything, and Hero gets away from a gank he should never have escaped. Everything missed from GAM.
The steel chair turned out to be just a wooden chair in the end, so did a little bit of damage, but he was still conscious afterwards. And
it turns out wrestling is fake, guys. Oh my, but this is going to be a dragon for a Rift Herald trade and more gold onto Blazers. This is disgusting.
Unbelievable.
That's gross. I feel sick.
You got a lot of gold for himself, so I mean, Blazers might just be the primary carry.
He got 8 or 9 turret plates. Like, I'd love to see his gold. Spectators
And
switch to it.
two
My
soloed
God.
turret golds as well, so turret
Yeah.
killing gold, local gold. That's
We got there. Yeah, it's already an Essence Reaver to a Caulfield and a Crit Cloak. This is such a rough situation here for EVOS to fight their way back into this. Ooh, I really thought the Chakrams were going to steal that blue buff there, but he only had the one out. Kiaya now pushing in the bot lane.
Would have been true to the run of play of this game so far, but luckily enough, Parker is at least able to secure one. He's still looking at 4-0 Lucian on the other. Has actually kept up in CS, but Lucian also roamed a lot.
Yeah, Lucian was leaving lane a whole lot, and Parquet answered with the teleport, which was good, but obviously teleport answers a fair bit quicker. And Shelly will be summoned here to try and crack this mid lane open. It should be fairly easy, because GAM threatens a dive, because apparently they dive everywhere. Yeah, and there's a little bit of tagging.
Blazes always has Crescendum ready when he wants to go for the turrets. It's interesting. It seems to be very good management for the ADC.
Yeah,
very good to see.
He's been very good at having the max damage combo of Severum into Calibrum and Chakram, is how you get the absolute max damage, because you can get a gross amount of Chakrams from the Severum Q, and then switch to Calibrum, get a mark, and throw 30 Chakrams at someone, because that's just a reasonable thing to be able to do.
Which one is Calibrum again? The sniper gun?
The sniper.
Ah, yeah, that's...
You use it to get the mark.
Green one. If you follow the colors, that's the green.
It's a nightmare for me, because I'm colorblind.
I've heard that is actually a big problem. Before.
Yeah, it is.
Not great.
Because they're a little bit too similar. I just remember the little symbol.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's okay. He's a good champion. They are apparently adding an indicator for his offhand, which I think will solve a lot of the problem. In terms of clarity. Maybe not balance, but clarity.
Speaking of FLS, I still feel like his I heard Vedius this as well, I think. I still feel like his 2 utility guns should deal less damage.
Oh, 100%.
Like the Gravitum and Severum?
Yeah, that's the healing.
Severum? Yeah,
Severum is the heal side.
Yeah, Gravitum and Severum should deal less damage. I don't understand why those guns are able to deal 100% of the damage.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, he has good guns he has good guns and great guns. He should have bad guns for team fighting. And I think it's a bit of a design fail of the champion.
Yeah, every gun should have a downside. Yeah. So you actually have to think about using them, not just, okay, I have this gun, I have the other gun. That's maybe even a little bit better, but the other one is...
Kiaya has gotten on top of Hero. We'll throw out the Haymaker for a little bit of damage, but didn't quite connect all the punches. Kiaya, despite his team absolutely popping off, having a bit of a quiet one. 0-0-0.
It's a top lane.
Yeah,
classic.
Yep.
That's why you pick Soraka, guys. Soraka would have been 5 years this time. Another fight breaks out in the mid lane.
As it does, and it's actually a kill onto Palette. Pretty easy there. They might try to enter here onto this Aatrox. The Infernum is in. The power bomb comes in. In the back line is Kiaya doing so much damage. Goes Super Saiyan with all that pit grit. And it ends up being a 1-for-1. Nice. Yeah, he did something.
So in the end, still a win for GAM, even though they had to have Palette as a sacrificial lamb. And Zorn might just go down as well.
Yep. Oh no! Wow, Levi, stop watching on about 1 health as Zorn and DivKid will join the rest of the team in the death chamber. GAM looking dominant.
GAM was a little slow in this game compared to the average. They have actually gone back to... So a little slow. We have to give them like maybe B+ for this game. Not the cleanest of early games. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, very good.
It's a little bit ridiculous. Palette just completely caught out here. Does manage to buy enough time for the Moonlight Vision to come in.
First bet, the first bet
wasn't great.
Blazes, in my opinion. Yeah.
And then Kiaya came in, gave him the power bomb, went Super Saiyan, doing so much damage. Didn't end up getting
We saw
any kills,
a glimpse of why Sad into Xayah is but it's way too late for the Zaya to do anything against him. But
Nope.
in a more even game, Zaya would be a pain in the ass for the set to deal with.
Absolutely. Hopefully the scoreboard comes up in a moment. It has, and Blazers has committed a bit of a cardinal sin, in my opinion, going that Runan's Hurricane second. In my opinion, Infinity Edge is much, much better.
You point that out every game we see it.
I'm sorry, look, it's my thing at this point.
It's the new everyday.
It's now I have the everyday Aphelios check-in, but I'm hoping we don't see that for much longer, because I'm done with this champion.
So sadly, we're back to a little bit of lag. This is not on our this one again. It's sadly happening on the official channel, which we are just streaming off, so we can't actually do anything. Still, apologies. Let's hope for a little bit more smooth gameplay later on. Right now, not a whole lot is happening, so.
Yep. Hopefully they can sort it out. We do have potential. Oh, Paulette getting a bit caught out here again. The Moonlight Vigil comes in. That is the Graviton version. Dia1 coming in, firing so much damage.
Look at all those little chakrams.
Yep, the Calibrum Mark dropping it.
The range is still endless, right? In the patch, it's still
it's still endless. Ridiculous.
Next patch will get nerfed to, I think, 2000 range or something. Weird number, whatever.
Yeah. As it is going to be Shirley picked up, the second Rift Herald. Oh, they did manage to get it just in time.
Yeah, it was super close. And now Baron has spawned. Does not actually know what happened to his... We're just slaughtered once again by GAM. 2 dragons for GAM. GAM is slowing down a little bit. This will 21-minute game, but there's still 6k gold ahead. Next objectives could just be place Rift Herald on either sideline and go to Baron immediately. We see pings coming down for EVOS. They is suspecting a Baron start for GAM, which is not taking place. So
GAM it is.
Just on a reset right now. A little bit of vision control. Oh, I like this. This is a classic Baron prevention ward for the losing team. A little bit on the side for the Baron pit. You can't actually see the Baron HP, obviously, with this ward, but you can still see if people are taking Baron.
Yep, which is pretty much what they need to do. The problem is, if they do begin to take Baron, I'm not 100% there is a lot that EVOS can do about it. Kiaya, not happy with him. He's gone Black Cleaver. What does Black Cleaver do? What does it do? Do anything. Not really.
He's tanky and he has CDR.
Triforce is better. Statistically, it's better. It has a higher win rate in like every situation. I'm upset, especially when he's this far ahead.
Why do you think so many people go for the Black Cleaver? There has to be a reason, right?
Because pros don't actually do research into build, which is pathetic. But it's every region. They seem to just build bad things. Honestly, though, it's because there's a bit of natural synergy, and people don't like... People are like, oh, Triforce is bad because you waste some of the stats. Which you do. There's mana on Triforce. Obviously, doesn't do anything. But, yeah. The armor shred doesn't really do anything because GAM is so far ahead that, like, what is it going to do? And Dia1 is going to shred it faster anyway. So...
Yeah, it's the second Black Cleaver, yeah. I especially agree with that point if it's the second Black Cleaver, because, I mean, I already don't like Black Cleaver on Lucian. It's okay if Lucian is this far ahead. I think Lucian should go crit in almost every scenario. This game, I kind of agree that he's free to go Black Cleaver, but don't go Black Cleaver if your top laner wants to build Black Cleaver anyway, so...
Dia1 using the culling to potentially get out of there. There is a bit of a fight in the mid lane here. Levi taking a lot of damage, but up in the top lane,
victory for EVOS.
They are actually getting onto Dia1, but Paulette comes in with a fantastic solar flare. And now they have to back off. They cannot take this 2v3. And the boys are coming in. The reinforcements are coming. Can they get onto Dia1 in time? I don't think they can. That Lucian's a bit too slippery. Nice. The alcove! It's coming in! It mattered! He gets out of there. Dia1 taking a lot of damage from the unleashed power. Sword going down now. Not necessary, but he locked it down.
Yeah, he wanted to have a little bit of fun there. I'm not sure what he was afraid of. potentially a stun coming out from Syndra, but she had ulted already. No kill threat on Blazes, who just wastes his flash, but it's still a Baron for GAM. So this should be the beginning of the end, the nail in the
The
coffin.
beginning?
Yeah, okay.
I think we're
Began 23 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think we're a few chapters in to the end of EVOS here. That is, as you said, the Baron is traded for an Infernal Drake. EVOS at least trying to get something out.
A little bit like a Beethoven. The end is coming, and then it's coming again, and bam, bam, ba-dam, and then it goes on and on.
I think if this was any piece of classical music, it would be the one with the cannon in it, and GAM is firing the cannon directly at EVOS.
It's a fair assessment as well.
That's a great piece of music, by the way. But now...
Smala, right? Oh.
I can't remember the name.
I can't remember it either.
I just know it as the one with the cannon. Now, GAM just needs to find a way to continue to crack the base of EVOS open. They have a very low inhib tower in the mid lane, so potentially they could do something there.
Yeah, this shouldn't be too hard for GAM now. Pushing a mid wave. Bot is already set up, so they want to play through bot. Kiaya has already placed there. Top is pushing in their favor as well.
Zenith Blade, didn't quite get it.
So yeah, this should be inhibitor secured in the bot lane. I don't think EVOS will take a fight here.
Oh, there's the Solar Flare onto Hero. So much damage from the culling, and in comes the Power Bomb, doing so much, and he gets out of there as well. Massive shield coming in for Kiaya. Set is reasonable.
No one died though, so
no, but they did enough damage to get an inhib. Yep, inhib, and then GAM should just leave. Blaze is doing a little bit of damage on the out. Oh, they're not going to leave. They're just going to chill. They've got a Felios turret. Like, you can't really walk into that, so they can just get an extra wave.
They missed an opportunity there, potentially, to go. Might have been a potential play for GAM to secure even. They still have a little bit of time left on the Baron buff, so now they're setting up for the mid wave. That's another good option. They've already broken the inner turret, so it's the anti-inhibitor turret. Has suffered from a Shirley ramming ahead into it. So, yep, another inhibitor will go down to GAM. This shouldn't take too long to finish.
Yeah, GAM can just back off. They've still got Baron buff. They can just walk top lane, push that in. And I just don't think there's any avenue for EVOS to get back into this one. It's almost impossible to imagine GAM losing this game. So really, we are just waiting for the end.
Yep, not a whole lot happening. So apparently it's Tchaikovsky. So
yep.
I was mistaken there.
Any smarter than
shameful.
Ooh, the Moonlight Vigil does miss there. It was a Gravitum. Could have started a fight off, but it was just a little bit short.
Third inhibitor. Yeah. EVOS, do something, please.
I mean, they should have just had their last ditch fight over that third inhibitor.
Yeah, they should.
You just go all in. Over. You probably lose, but you already lose. So just have the last ditch.
Now it's just over. When there's no objective for GAM to. So they'll just reset, buy new items, and storm down mid lane once again. Let all the super minions come into the base as well, and then finish the game.
Yep, exactly. It will be 6 super minions a wave. Basically unholdable, particularly this relatively early. 27 minutes for 3 inhibs is a little bit ridiculous.
What do you want to see in this game from a player or one of the teams?
What do I want to see this game?
I really want to see the Infernum ult just one-shot someone.
That would be cool. I think what I want in particular is Kiaya just to get the absolute ridiculous true damage because he's got the stone plate. So, to explain, stone plate normally cuts your damage, right? You get I think a 40% damage reduction.
Though.
Not true damage, and that's what the center of Haymaker does. So you can do absolutely disgusting amounts of damage with the Haymaker if you stack up that pit grit. I don't think it's going to happen this game because, I mean, apparently EVOS doesn't want to fight. Like,
Yeah, there's
EVOS is...
not a whole lot of game
Oh,
left.
there is the Moonlight Vigil. They're going in. The Power Bomb comes in, doing
Kiaya?
heaps of damage. Kiaya's just running around in the back line. Will go Super Saiyan as
He's
he
full
has that
crit?
full crit.
Not
He's
anymore.
already used his W. And this will be GAM taking the game. EVOS just going out, not with a bang, but with a whimper. Just doing absolutely
Another
nothing.
haymaker there. Yeah, business as usual for GAM. A little bit
Yeah.
slow, a little bit weak in the early game. Only 4 at 50 minutes. They have to improve on that.
I'm a little bit disappointed in EVOS.
What is there to say?
I'm disappointed in EVOS. They should have
that's
gone
true.
for something. Like, in the end, you've got to, like, what are you doing? Like, are you just trying to protect your KD? No one cares about your KD if you lose.
Yeah, that's a good criticism. I don't think they could have really done anything there, but yeah, go for.
Oh, yeah, they
show
90% of the
still there.
time, 90% of the time they lose any last ditch fight, but it's better to take the last ditch fight, right?
Absolutely. Just sound the signal to GAM. Okay, you beat. We are still here. This looked more like, okay, can we please just leave?
Yeah, like,
If you
we're
go,
done. It looked like their mental was completely broken.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not sure how much there is to say about this game, if I'm totally honest.
Was pretty brutal.
Yeah. We do have to pick an MVP. Kiaya, obviously.
Once again between...
It was obviously... that was top diff. That was top diff the whole game.
Of course. Top diff. Big top difference.
No, it is...
Top lane showing once again why you should actually play support champs in the top lane to get assist.
How many times are you going to bring up Soraka top tonight?
Until she's played, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone's going to pull it out, it is GAM. So we do have to pick an MVP. I think Blazers looked really good. His Ophelio salts were pretty sick.
I think Levi had a big impact on the early dives as well. Levi and Dia as well. Both accelerated the game a lot. Not sure who of the two.
Dia was doing a disgusting amount of damage every fight.
It's true.
I think I'm leaning towards Dia.
Had good roams once again.
Yeah.
Outplayed the top lane thingy.
He was everywhere he needed to be.
Levi is a good candidate as well. It's so hard for GAM games, right? All of them
are
to a very high standard.
Absolutely. They're all MVPs, really. But I think I'm leaning towards Dia this game.
Yeah, I guess I'll agree. He didn't die, so Blazers had a good game, but he died, and Dia roamed to the bot lane, got a lot of the kills early on. Wasn't quite able to snowball his CS lead, but he still continued to roam, so... Yeah, it's between him and Levi, and I'm okay with giving it over to Dia1. He's also a new player on GAM, and in the end, we all know Levi will get the MVP.
He'll end up being MVP of the split. But that is game 1 of GAM versus EVOS, ending up. Hopefully we don't get a brutality quite like that in game 2. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We appreciate you being here. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. See you then, guys. Hello everybody, we are back here for game 2 of GAM versus EVOS. Obviously EVOS looking absolutely dominant in game 1, no just kidding. GAM absolutely dismantled them. I'm honestly not sure how much there is even to say. What can EVOS possibly do to have a better chance in this second game?
Once again, we need a full mental reset. Hope for a few troll picks for GAM. If GAM stay true to what they did before, they'll go for a few fun picks here and there. They played the AP Shyvana last time. They stomped the first game. So let's see if they have anything up their sleeves. There's still a few cool picks they could bring out. I'm not going to say which I'd like to see, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's possible. I think Levi is quoted as saying they're going to finish this best of 3 in 40 minutes, which might be a little bit of a stretch, considering that last game did take a little while to close out, but
Yeah, 30-minute victory would be quite ridiculous.
yeah, if they could get a 10-minute win, maybe he'll live up to that one, but seems a little bit unlikely. However, we could potentially see a more serious draft. Really? Wow, they
seems to be on stage here.
Wow, they do not. They do
Paulette.
not care. They do not care. They are just gonna stop.
So I'd like to see Hugh go for more mage type supports. Obviously, he was a little bit of a player when he played the ADC position, and he didn't actually play a lot of ADCs. He played Karthus, Vel'Koz once, I think.
Yeah, I think he played Vel.
Multiple different times. A few Lux games. Very interesting. Oh, it's still Paladin, so it seems to be just the jacket for Fuba. I wasn't quite sure. I thought it was Palat, but he had the
Fair enough, just sharing their jackets. Why not? And it is Vladimir and Kiana immediately removed. Fair enough. EVOS doesn't want to go up against Levi's Kiana. Can't say I blame them very much. I just opened a window on top of the stream. My bad. Yeah, that's almost unbeatable. The Levi Kiana, even with the nerfs. Let's see where they go now. Aphelios gone. Elise as well being removed. Levi, of course, played that last game.
Set also removed from Kiaya, so GAM needs to adapt their composition a little bit. And look, he's quite sad that his set got removed.
Yeah, I think you might be a little bit ahead of me, because you do appear to just know you're coming from the future, or maybe you're just that good at predictions. And Jarvan is going to be the lock-in for Levi, taking that one away from Sorn. Makes a lot of sense to me. Levi obviously very good on that. Okay. I'm not getting baited by that hover. I don't think that's getting locked in.
It would be quite surprising.
It was played last week.
Yeah.
It has been played, but yeah.
Some people say it's playable. Oh, don't get me too excited. Oh, man.
Oh, you're coming at me from the future. Oh, it's being hovered. Oh, they're being hovered. Can you pick them blind?
It's a little bit weird, though.
Can you blind pick them? I'm not sure. They're definitely thinking very hard about it. Is Yulwei going to have his... I had a set game, so do you get a Soraka game?
The fate is... no.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yulwei has his dreams ripped away from him. You might want to pause just for a second or so. You are a little bit
ahead. To.
All good.
I need to take my time machine and go back to the present times. Should be fine right now.
See what the next picks are for GAM. Wouldn't mind seeing the Braum being locked in. They are considering an Ornn here for Kiaya.
Braum would be nice. Ornn Braum. Super good rotation here.
Yeah, I really, really like that. Braum in particular.
Yeah, Braum would be very good here. I mean, the enemy team can't pick the Braum. You don't need to go Braum. You could go either solo as well. Lucian is not banned, so Lucian would be a good option as well.
Yep, very true. But they're going to go for the Cassiopeia. DR1 has looked very good on that pick.
Yeah, it's a very strong champion for DR1, as we've seen before already. So now Braum might hit the ban list for EVOS.
He definitely should.
I don't quite understand this Aurelia pick.
Aurelia has an oddly...
in VCS. I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure either. Has looked pretty good though, to be fair. As we go into ban phase 2, I definitely want to see Braum hitting the bench.
Yeah, there we go. Nice. Violet actually knows how to draft.
He does.
I think both coaches are actually quite good at drafting. This is refreshing to see, especially after EVOS played the first series against Flash and potentially won the whole series just of drafting, because Flash just threw away the first game with a very bad draft.
That they did. So I do apologize to the stream for the angry bird. Rakan is not happy about not being played in this series. He's just having a scream. As Gragas will be removed, trying to pinch the jungle pool, as obviously GAM do already have their jungler secured. Let's see what EVOS wants to do here. We need to see a solo lane and a jungler out of them.
Yeah, expect another jungle ban for GAM.
Yep.
EVOS can ban whatever they want. Maybe
I
a
think a
matchup.
support. I think a support makes.
Wow, the
Oh.
Renekton ban does not make a whole lot of sense.
Do you
That's
really
a super
think they?
strange
Do
one.
you really think they're gonna put Dia1 on Ornn?
No,
Have the mid on?
they probably think it's on support right now. If they really anticipate the Renekton to come in, I mean it's Palette after all. He plays whatever. Okay, Seal
Oh.
is still here. Hello.
So we were just praising Violet for his drafts. And then they picked...
Caster is coming in very strong right now.
I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of junglers banned. So maybe Sejuani creeps up the tier list. Are we going to get a Senna?
She's also not super bad. She's actually very good with melee. It's good to pick Irelia with Sejuani.
And there is the Senna lock-in. 4 Blazers.
Why are you doing this to me?
Well, I mean, I think that would actually be a support Soraka.
It could have been on support Soraka.
Could have, but it is going to be the Tahm Kench. He's been unbenched. Here we go on that. And now we just need the second solo lane here from EVOS. Should reveal where the Irelia is going as well. It's just going to be the Mordecai.
Mid lane Irelia once again.
That it does.
Mid lane Irelia into Cassiopeia sounds like a horrible matchup. Especially into Dia1's Cassiopeia. That's not a good setup.
Does not sound much fun at all. I am just going to step away for just a moment to put Rakan in timeout. Sorry. If you can Phil, just for a moment.
I'll take over a little bit. So looking at both team compositions, GAM has assembled a very strong team fighting comp with Dia1 as the main carry in terms of consistent DPS. We have Blazes to shoot from the backline, provide a little bit extra shield and healing, and a lot of poke as well. I like this carry setup a lot. They might lack a little bit of damage if Dia1 falls behind, which so far from the 3 games GAM has played, he has never fallen behind, so it's not too likely. Very solid team composition, front-to-back team fighting, Tahm Kench for safety. I'd say more for Cassiopeia safety than Senna safety even. Then on the other side, EVOS going for a little bit more of an explosive team composition, especially looking at the solo lanes. Parquet on the Irelia needs to shut down the Cassiopeia, which will not be easy, as we talked about. Irelia not having the greatest of matchups into bot lane, also very explosive. Might look for a few early dive kills as well, with Leona into Tahm Kench, followed up by the potential bullet time there.
Very good point there, my friend. Definitely potential here for this EVOS comp. But again, I feel like some of these matchups are very ill-conceived, particularly this mid lane. You made a point of it before, going against Dia1's Cassiopeia as Irelia really, really does sound like torturing yourself just a little bit.
Sounds very rough indeed. Not too happy with the Tahm Kench pick, I have to say. I don't think Senna needs Tahm Kench. I know a lot of people like to play with Tahm Kench. I don't actually think she needs him. I would have liked to see a Braum early on in the draft. Maybe they were afraid of the Cassiopeia ban, but even then, Dia1 has a big champion pool, right? So, a little bit of a weird drafting priority. We'll have to see. Palette also very defensive now with the setup. No heal, no ignite, no anything in the bot lane. It's pure defensive setup. Cleanse for the Tahm Kench, teleport for Senna.
I think that makes sense.
They don't want to do anything down there.
I think that makes sense. This is a much more defensive GAM team comp overall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ornn is going to play it slow. Senna and Tahm Kench are going to say it slow. I don't think we're going to have the hyper-destructive 9k gold lead at 20 minutes or whatever it was last game. So, oh no, they're on a ward. Surely I
expect a lot from Levi's J4. I think he'll probably try to gank mid lane. Should be a very easy chain CC for the mid lane. You start with EQ on the Javan, knock up the enemy target. That buys enough time for Dia1 to close the gap and follow up with Miasma so the enemy can't flash away. That
Good start here in the bot lane. That's wow, actually a little bit of a turn here. This is going to be quite a few free auto attacks for Blazers, getting those early souls.
Also, don't fight against Senna level 1. She's super strong at level 1.
And yeah, this is part of the strength of this center Tahm Kench lane. Tahm Kench can play so aggressive, just going up for the licks, and just have the healing of center as a backup constantly. Very
And we're
strong.
still
And
on.
Levi coming straight in here to try and
Wow.
take away the blue, is caught by Thorn. Is in a little
Look
bit
at
of
Swan's
trouble
damage.
here as he has to smite it, flashes over the wall into Parquet. Levi's going to go down for first blood. That's rare. And Dia1 in a lot of trouble as well as the Flawless Duet does come out, uses the cleanse, should be able to
Cleanse
slither away. Ooh,
Yep.
my word.
Great start for Thorn. Just hit in the brush. I'm not sure if he anticipated Levi or he got early on. I think he just thought
Looked
about
like he
potential of
I
the
think
paths. Yeah.
he looked like he anticipated it.
Yeah, great read. Great read. And obviously the Sejuani is super strong early champion with the passive as well as HP damage.
Ooh,
More
up in the top
burst.
lane. Mordekaiser was knocked up, but has that Conqueror and the passive. Kiaya needs to hit the legs. Ooh, the E missing.
This is actually
This is
very dangerous
turnable.
for Hero.
Yep,
Yeah.
there's the W, moves him forward, but
No,
isn't going to get
the
anything else
cannon.
and now has to recall. Kiaya out to an early lead. Power
Yeah,
of
nicely
Horn.
done.
He does so much damage.
Mordekaiser can be quite weird to play early on, right? Because you know you have a lot of damage once you get your passive, and you know 10, you'll just straight up win this fight. But at level 2 or 3, maybe not quite. There's still a lot of damage from the auto attacks, and your shield is not strong enough in the early game, so.
Especially against Ornn, who just claps you with grasp. Definitely makes it very hard. And Thorn is riding the pig into this bot lane here. The Make It Rain to slow down Blazes. Out comes the Curse of the Black Mist. Oh, they do manage to get the charge and to the stun onto Paulette, forcing the cleanse.
Yep.
Blazes running forward to suck some mist out of Thorn, though.
Yeah.
Senna never stops.
In the end, I guess an okay gank. They didn't force any flashes, so it's actually not too successful. Very good reaction from Blazes, in my opinion. He was able to hit the W. I still forget what it's called from the center on Thorn, and Thorn wasn't really able to do a whole.
Yep, absolutely. He also kind of missed the E, but this is a potential gank in the top lane, but Levi stops to clear the control ward. Don't want to go for the dive on the Mordekaiser this early. Dia1 caught by the Flawless Duet. Parquet getting some good damage there. Already, this is a much, much better situation for EVOS than last game. There's been no ridiculous bot lane dives. So EVOS still exist in this game.
And as you pointed out earlier, it's very surprising approach. Maybe Yuna came in and said, okay, we all know you're great in the early game, but we need to also train our late game a little bit more. So now let's just pick a very passive team composition, a very scaling team composition as well, with not a whole lot of tools in the early game.
Yeah.
Very interesting to follow this game, particularly for GAM.
Yeah, absolutely. Difficult. Infernal Drake is going to be the first trait, so we will not be seeing that rift. To see what we've seen. I don't think we've seen a mountain rift in a while. Not a particularly.
Would be cool to see. Also nice.
Dragon.
A nice dragon for Kiaya.
B really caught out here. Has to try and use his CC, but flashes away. The Flawless Duet was started to potentially cover any chase, but it's a flash forced for very little investment from GAM.
Yeah, and now Levi also with a very good position on the dragon.
Ooh, up there, the Ornn horn has been blown, and Hero has to flash.
Another flash blown. So we're starting to see the individual laning GAM shine through. They're still behind a little bit in gold from the early first blood, but now with the first dragon secured, also with a few more minions to pick up in the bot lane, top lane is crashing, so looks like GAM is stabilizing after giving up a kill very early on.
Yeah, that one kill certainly hasn't thrown them off their stride. We did predict they will play a very slow early game. I actually think it was just a little bit of a mistake from Levi to even go for that invade. His team's not really equipped to help him there. But in the end, I don't think they're going to be punished particularly hard. Horn is just chilling, waiting for his Krugs to respawn on top of a ward. Not ideal.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still in a very slow early game. Looking ahead a little bit, it's nothing really important right now. It's Cloud Drake next, so we might get either a Mountain Rift or an Ocean Rift again. We talked about scaling a little bit before. I think EVO still scales quite well, but in the end, overall the composition seems strong on the side of GAM. From my assessment, I really like this setup with Cassiopeia Senna. I think that's a super great combination. Cassiopeia dealing the main DPS damage in Senna, following up with a little bit of burst.
Ooh, a lot of damage
utility.
potential onto Parquet here. Levi is close, but I don't think there's a gank.
So, yeah, the first big fight might erupt when if GAM gets to secure the next dragon. So I think EVOS wants to contest the third dragon. They don't want to wait for the fourth. So if there's nothing happening until then, I think that's probably the first big fighting point in this game. And looking at item completions, Cassiopeia should...
Parquet diving forward here into the ult, but oh no, Levi was so close. Dia1 gets the kill. Sorn now in a bit of trouble, but B is here, should dissuade any potential... Oh my god, okay. Dia going forward very nearly killed him. The poison got him incredibly low.
Yeah, Dia needed one more E there.
One more anything. Need to spit on him.
Super close, almost getting a 2-0 there, but good start for Dia in the mid lane. As we said, not going to get any better for Parquet, so potentially the first great way to play through for GAM, the best player to play through in this team competition anyway. They need to get gold on this Cassiopeia. She needs to get fat, and that's a very good start. Dia Silva playing a solid laning phase, even in CS, but now with the first kill, also controlling most of the waves, looking very good for the mid game.
Yeah, he absolutely is. See how he scales it up. I'm hoping we do see a Leandries out of him. Obviously, that was a mistake of Yardo earlier. Not building a Leandries really slowed down his ability to carry. Blazes gets gobbled up. Very strong supporters. We do get a replay here. A little bit unfortunate. They made the call. Didn't know Levi was there. He absolutely turned everything. I'd love to see how much health Sorn was actually on. Not much.
And even though Dia actually got the move boost, he's still a Cassiopeia without boost. Big
a bit slow in the bot lane. So. The Dawning Shadow has come out. The TPs are coming. Kiaya has arrived first. The Ornhorn is here, zoning off that backline. Well done. Blaze is chilling in the belly, and Kiaya will pick up the first kill of this fight. Blazes with a really good flash there to get away from the grasp in the Death Realm. He should go down, and he does. Now, Sorn and Hero are here. Paulette goes down to not much health. Could still pop the shield. Dia is here. They're not going to go through Sorn. They know that's impossible. They're in the Rage Cage. Just give the kill to Dia. Yeah. Well done. Nicely done there. Super well done from GAM. They lose Blazes, but they don't mind at all. Was a 3-for-1.
Yeah, another kill to both solo lanes collecting one kill. Great on play there. On in the early game has a lot of damage. Just wrecked the enemy bot lane on his own. Dia gets another plating for his troubles as well. So now 2-0, 200 gold of bounty on top of him, and got another plating. Still ahead in CS, so this snake looking mighty fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Dia off to a good start. Oh, okay.
EVOS does not want to win this game, apparently. Feeding Dia is not a good start.
How did that happen? I'm sure we'll get a replay, but
there's still a flash available as well.
Apparently, I think it was just a petrifying gaze into a solo.
Yeah, petrifying gaze into miasma, so you couldn't flash away. Yeah, very easy. I'm not sure why it happened though. We need to see a replay.
It shouldn't have happened. And it will be the Cloud Drake, also secured for GAM. Kid is back, he TP'd, but they cannot fight for this. They're way too far behind already. Sorn is spotted. Paulette will clear this ward out, so they don't even know if the approach is safe. And there it is. What are we getting? It's a Mountain Rift.
Nice.
We haven't seen many of those. Hero. Ooh, there is a very good combo. Dia1 taking so much damage, but he gets gobbled. And it's okay. Now he's healing back from the E. Oh my word. It went
This is
about as
so
well as
frustrating.
possible for EVOS at the start, but nothing happens. And Sorn nearly
Yeah,
dies.
the power of TK.
Yep.
That's why I said TK is mostly there to save the team, even though he's paired up with Senna. Senna doesn't really need protection, especially in the later stages, especially also if DR1 plays the role of the primary carry and the main focus for the enemy team. So, another good reason to pick the Tam Kench in this game.
Questionable first item coming in from Hero has got the actually what that's called, the Spectral Cowl, of course.
Vector Crawl, yeah.
Yep.
Very
Potentially building
defensive
to a
Mordekaiser
spirit
build, yeah.
into an Ornn. That seems like a mistake to me.
Yeah, I agree. He needs to deal damage. He needs to get to a stage where he can in the Death Realm. And that's not a good first step.
No, and of course, Kiaya has built that Abyssal Mask, which can become an ornament, and is great against Mordekaiser already. Obviously, Mordekaiser only has 1 or 2 sources of real damage. The Oblivion is massive. So, very good item. So far, GAM looking very good after an early game blunder. Didn't seem to phase them.
No, and they're now on 2 dragons as well. Ahead and not quite as ahead in goal as they're also on the late games with
no,
more
never
items
be that
potentially.
Well, Kiaya spots Sorn here. Could be able to force them
Sorn is
back.
level 7. Oh no.
Yeah, he has got a lot of reinforcements, but so does GAM. Sorn in so much trouble, has to get over. Thanks for the leash, guys. Bullet time as well. Really, thanks for the leash. Super generous of you, EVOS. Just making sure this game can get over as fast as possible.
Yeah, and now Shelly spawned as well. Might be in time to secure a few more plating.
I think she was dropped a little too far away. No, she'll get the charge.
There we go.
Yep, they do get the platings. Well done.
And another engage.
Yep, and there they go. A massive knock up there, and the center ult going across absolutely everyone. Sorn will be chased out on the side.
Everyone dies.
Parquet dies as well. Oh my god. I thought...
Tank Mordekaiser approaches.
Here he comes. He's swaggering in. Gets a little bit of damage out. Goes into the death realm with Palette. Palette's just fighting him in the death realm. He's just eating him. He's just straight up fought him. He loses the 1v1 to Tam Kench.
What is going on?
This is atrocious. How does anyone beat GAM?
I mean, this game was handed to them on the silver for me. This is unacceptable play. But yeah, I agree. GAM looks incredibly strong.
I thought we saw a dominant GAM last split. But we are already seeing...
They went 7-0 in 7-0 in the second half of round robin. And
yeah, but we are seeing some...
too much more dominant.
We are seeing some horrific scenes here on Summoner's Rift. If you have a child watching, if you're under 18, get them away. Get them away. You're going to ruin them. I'm surprised we're still live. I thought they'd shut us down with the absolute destruction going on.
There's a lot of cruelty shown here.
Yeah, I would have thought there's another website that you put these that I'm not going to name.
Well, we once again don't have the correct itemization for Cassiopeia. I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, it is a bit strange, but I don't think it's going to matter very much, unfortunately. Dio won't be...
Look at this engage. That is filthy.
That's absolutely disgusting. 4-man knock up into the center. He didn't even hit the ram. Kiaya missed the ram. Parquet threw his ult and missed it.
Hero approaching.
Yep, here he comes. The big boy. You can hear the pentakill start playing. Come on. Yeah, losing a 1v1 to Tam Kench. Oh, no.
Tam Kench. Palette actually messed this one up. He could have split him out directly in the mass.
Yeah, true. I just think he was having a bit of a flop.
It didn't matter at all. Just a tiny little misplay. Maybe in a closer game against an international team. Could have mattered.
Yeah, true. We know GAM sometimes leaves their brain at home on the international.
Sadly, they don't have to bring their brain, it seems, to the VCS games at least.
Yeah, I mean, we used to make a lot of references to the brain machines behind the VCS stage, but apparently GAM just You know, they didn't want to pay the rental fee on it, which makes a lot of sense because they can just do it with their fingers. Oh my god, the flash away from the Irelia ult. That's just adding insult to injury. As another Drake being picked up. EVOS. At this point, it's like kicking a puppy. Just stop.
We talked about them not being on time with gold this game, but look at the gold lead now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
70 minutes into the game, 6K gold lead.
They're on a late game team. They're on a late game scaling comp, and they are up by 6K gold at 17 minutes.
So how do you feel about the chances of the other teams and the VCS?
I mean, so far, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, unless there is a considerable level up, or GAM trolls hard, I don't think they lose a series. They'll lose games because shit happens. I don't think they lose a series.
Because they really remind me at the start of 2019 in the EU context. Because it's not only great players, right? We all knew that GAM was great laners. DR1 is one of the greatest laners. Kiaya, super strong laner. So I thought coming into this season, okay, GAM would be super strong in lanes, but they're synergy probably not up to par. They probably need a few more weeks to build synergy. But this game actually is even more worrisome for the other teams in the VCS because the synergy is great, right? The synergy is actually the thing that carries GAM, and they have great laning on top of that and great coordination on top of that. But the synergy, well, is unmatched in VCS so far.
Absolutely ridiculous. And the thing to think about is, two of the players doing a lot of the carrying weren't on GAM last split. Blazers and DR1 have fit in perfectly well, and they both look ridiculous. Last split, we always saw play around top lane. They have an Ornn. Can you imagine GAM of last split playing an Ornn? It's just not an option.
Nope. Zeros would never play Ornn. They actually played Ornn with Yoshino.
That's
2
true.
games, I think.
That's true, but Zeros would never play Ornn. But now they have the option to just stick Kiaya on a tank. It's strong. Stick him on it and play through Blazers and mid. It's fantastic. This team is absurd.
Yeah, it's quite impressive. Also, if you think about GAM last year, it's Levi, and Levi, Zeros, Levi, sometimes Kiaya.
Yeah.
But this game, actually, Levi made a big mistake in the early game, and all the players on this team bailed him out. Not to say that he has played a bad game afterwards.
He did hit a sick engage under that plane tower. That was gross.
Absolutely. But it's still like he made a big mistake in the game. His team was still able to just get back on top and get another gold lead.
Yep, absolutely. Didn't matter that EVOS got off to that good start. You wouldn't think about look at this. They're just hitting it from over the wall. They don't care. Yeah. They're in the enemy jungle.
They should just take Baron now as well.
Yeah, why not? I actually think it's right. Did you see that? Paulette opened up his mouth for the Abyssal Journey and DR1 hit the blast cone to interrupt it.
Nice.
He just interrupted his own support soul.
Did you see how the Senna lost out on one there from Shirley? Because the soul happened to spawn on the other side? Why? That's not fair to Senna.
You know what? Okay. It's not fair to Senna on 10.2. Good. She deserves it. Look at where they're dropping this. They drop it halfway up mid lane.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't matter.
This is a game EVOS could surrender just to get home.
Yeah, just go home early. Just make sure you can get maybe the restaurant.
So hopeless.
I don't know. I hope the restaurants are open late. Oh my god, just flies in. There is an Ornhorn coming to back him up. And down goes DivKid. Levi is still alive, by the way, as EVOS is melting away. Is Levi ever going to die? I don't think he is. Blazers finally goes down. Triple kill is coming. The Quadra. One more to go. Come on, it's going to get stolen. Kiaya, you dickhead. And down goes. And he kills himself as well. He's probably too busy yelling at his teammate.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
He did not need to do that. He pressed Q. Now they don't get the inhib.
Oh man, Kiaya, come on. I like this. Shame on you. Shame on you. Ding, ding, ding.
I still think one of the funniest moments, because we don't need to talk about this game, I'm just going to talk about a memory of mine. when I went to boarding school, we used to play League together. We used to like do 5-man blind pick and stuff because it was fun. I
Nice.
distinctly remember a game where a good friend of mine was playing a Carly. This is older Carly. This is like season 3 or something, maybe even earlier. I was playing Malphite, and he got a quadra kill, like basically by himself. He just popped off.
Oh no! Oh no!
And then, because I was
Can see
sitting
where
like
this is
2
going.
tables away from him, and I just yelled, "I'm coming!" And he just went, "No!" As I flash ulted to steal the last one, and he just closed his computer and walked away. Didn't talk to me for like a week.
Fair play. Fair play to him.
As now comes another team fight. They're in the choke. Levi doing so much, as was Kiaya. Blazers
Yeah,
gets
still
bailed
alive.
out there. Yeah, Levi doesn't die.
Blazers,
Cataclysm's in. He
Blazers,
finally
be
goes
careful.
down. Blazers. That is a dragon. Paulette now. Look at Kiaya just chasing Dipkid to
Where
another
is he?
country.
Oh my god.
This game is so dumb.
Yeah, really doesn't want to other people play on. He's not there to tank for his team. He's there to solo kill. And fair play to him, he did.
This is just ridiculous. This is
It's
absurd.
quite
How do
brutal.
you beat
Another
this?
kill.
And they're just going to walk in. The E's use Parquet's dead.
Yep. So, you need to press enter, then slash FF, and enter again.
Yep.
Yes. It's not that hard.
Just FF. Like,
quite easy.
the restaurants near GG Stadium are probably closing. Don't you guys want to get some dinner after this? Like, I feel like you need to.
Do you think they deserve dinner after this?
No. No, they
sure.
don't. They deserve, a trip to the, they need the belt to come out.
Yeah.
Just, do they deserve dinner?
Hey, LPL is not playing right now. They could actually try to get a private lesson with Coma.
Oh, and look, it's another kill. The petrifying gaze. Land Thorn is dead.
TP coming in. Hero.
Oh, here he comes. Mordecai's is here. He misses. Oh, he goes into the death realm with Dia. Are you sure you want that, man? Here comes the Abyssal Void. Look at this. Dia's just not taking damage, and he's dead. EVOS, save us all some time.
But Hero stayed true to his name and saved his jungler. He's the true hero of the game.
Yep.
Well, the game will just end hopefully soon because I'm really struggling.
I'm having fun. I'm having fun.
Oh, another Gage.
Oh, yep, here they go. And Levi's just walking into
Dia.
3. Absolutely nothing happens. Dia just soloing everyone, angry that Kiaya stole his penta.
He should be.
Yeah, damn well. He absolutely should be. He should be furious. Would have been the 3rd pentakill in 1 week and 1 day of play.
Yeah,
A little bit ridiculous. The VCS, man, and here comes the knock-up from Kiaya. The bullet time comes out to try and stop the end.
B,
but the horn blows.
What are you trying to do
B, I am between my towers and I will hold my land as he goes down to the W of center. And this is finally going to be the end, hopefully. Thorn in the rage cage.
Super good with the timing on W.
Yeah,
I'm
well
super
done.
impressed with the lasers. Great
Should
center
be able
play.
Yep, they should be able to finally end this.
The misery.
This is demoralizing for EVOS.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like,
So,
they're not even killing the towers, they're just farming.
I think GAM is not allowed to play a serious. Please go for more AP Shyvana.
Yeah, I think GAM needs... I think someone needs to have a talk to GAM and be like, look, there are rules against bullying.
Yeah. Actually find them. For every just find them.
Yep. I mean, just someone needs to go into the GAM locker rooms and make them lose their ID cards, because then maybe they won't be able to play their... Like, we know how harsh the VCS is. Maybe they'll lose, like, the whole split of bans or something, and maybe then you can get close.
I mean, does that matter, though?
Maybe they'll be forced to play without a player. They have to 4v5. They can have a bot.
Well, this was worse than I expected it to be. I thought GAM would 2-0, but I didn't think GAM would
said EVOS would win a
5-0 in
game.
2 games.
I think I said they'd win a game.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bad call. Oh my. This was meant to be the hype series of the day. Ended up just being just absurd.
Slaughter. Yep. I mean, it's always fun to watch GAM.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's also quite ridiculous. Ki is super happy with DR1's performance, it looks like.
I think he might be
Very cute.
apologizing for something, shockingly enough.
For something. Do we give the MVP to DR1 once again?
Oh no, we give it to Kia. We give it to Kiaya. He was the MVP to steal the Penta.
No.
I mean, it's either like Levi. If he hadn't entered at the start, I'd actually be arguing for him. But it's Dia.
Yeah.
It's Dia.
Yeah, I think it's Dia as well. Dia is popping off on GAM. It has to be quite frustrating for EVOS to play against Dia, as Dia was also the main carry for EVOS last year, but not quite as consistent. Died a lot more on EVOS.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he has a better team around him now. What else is there to say about this match? How do you beat GAM? Genuinely, how do you beat them? I'd say they almost have the best player in all 5 positions. Now that we've seen Dia and Kiaya looking sick.
Dia surprised me. I didn't think Dia would be this, but well, sometimes you should trust the coaches that coached in the scene, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I thought
Dia
would be good. I thought Dia would be good in the back half of the split once he'd fit in.
Yeah, same.
But apparently he doesn't. He just doesn't need that time.
He just came in and stomped everyone. So,
yep.
I think there's still an argument to be made. Kiaya if he comes back to form. So it will be interesting to see on Sunday if Flash can do anything against GAM. Interestingly enough, when Flash played against EVOS, they also won the lanes. They just weren't able to convert the lane victory into victories, game victories.
It didn't help that Flash drafted like it's 2 years ago. That was horrible drafts. If they improve that against GAM, they have a chance, but my word, it's not much better than a snowman in a bushfire.
Oh man.
Because
as I alluded to in draft, I'm so impressed with and coordination. So I think Flash might play them close in the first 20 minutes and in the lanes, but then GAM will just take over as they're the more well-coordinated team. They know what to do to win the games, to crack open games as well. So yeah, I think Flash will probably last a little longer, maybe 27 minutes instead of 25. Yay!
Yeah,
and then
maybe.
GAM will probably still roll over them in mid game. So they remind me a lot of G2 last year in EU. Obviously, we have to
scale the regions.
Yeah, right. So the regions are different. The competition is very different. G2 much more impressive in Europe, but this is, from just watching VCS, this looks very much like the domination that was G2 Spring Split, where they went 9-0 before being beaten once. So, possible.
So, yeah, and I don't think there's much else to say, to be completely honest. I think we might be getting an early night, honestly. Well, at least I will be. It's only 1:45. Not bad at all. But yeah, I think that, unless you have any final comments, that might be it for us for tonight. GAM looking absolutely unstoppable, I should say. Truly the kings of the VCS.
Yeah, we've seen every team play 2 series now, and we have GAM 4-0 at the top. Looking by far, like by far, I think no other team has gone 2-0 besides them. Everyone else is
they split
either 1-1 or 0-2 in the, so very close middle of the table. Adonis looked good today. Cerberus looked better than against GAM. What a surprise! EVOS, EVOS played against GAM, so I think we actually have to kind of disregard all the GAM games and just look at the others.
Yeah, EVOS versus Adonis tomorrow will be interesting. That'll be
very
a fun
interesting.
Game.
Both played today.
Yeah. But that will be it for us for tonight. I, as the nameplates say, have been every day. With me has been Yulwei. Thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate the support. We'd love to see you back tomorrow and Sunday. See you guys. It's been.
See you tomorrow. Enjoy LEC.
Very, very true.